Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to a Coffee Chats. I know I am pulling a full Superman Clark Kent with my no glasses this morning, but you know what? Sometimes it happens. Every now and then. I do have my glasses nearby in case I have a hard time reading everyone's comments, but welcome. Welcome to a Coffee Chats, y'all. I'm hanging out with my Mario and Luigi coffee mug, which I've had for ages, and like it's just starting to bubble. Sadly, for anyone watching on Amazon, it's not available on Amazon. I tried finding it, but it's no longer available because it's old, you know? But Triforce necklaces for anyone who needs a Triforce necklace. Amory Stewart Singh over on the Twitch side. Thank you for the resub. Happy 2-year subiversary, and thank you for being here that long. Tommy says, love the cup. Thank you. Chicago, buenos dias. Lucas, happy Wednesday. Folks, I am live on both Amazon Live and Twitch, so feel free to watch in both places if you'd like to. I see Classy Librarian is here. I bet since it's so early in the day, and normally I stream this early in the day on Amazon, but it's rare that I stream this early in the day on Twitch. So my guess is we're going to get a lot of friends who live in different time zones hanging out today, and I love that. I love that. Welcome. Hello. I know on these coffee chats, everyone usually asks what type of coffee I'm drinking. So, I actually just forgot that there's a little toad head in here. I'm trying not to spill my coffee all over myself. But the coffee I'm having this morning, because my parents are no longer visiting. My parents were out visiting and they just left yesterday. And the reason it changes my coffee when my parents are visiting is because my parents are both big coffee drinkers. So when they're here visiting, we have to prepare a whole carafe in the morning. But when they leave, I'm the only coffee drinker in the house. So pods it is for me. Luckily, I have a coffee machine that can do both, carafe or pods. So when it's just me, it's just the pods. What type of coffee is it, says Lucas? So the pods we have right now is Starbucks vanilla pods. That's what we have right now. And it's good. Do I feel Toad watching me every time I take a sip? Kind of. Kind of. He's like looking right up my nose, you know? No, my son does not drink coffee. And my husband's a tea drinker, actually. Which for me, the ritual is always coffee in the morning, tea later in the day, like afternoon or evening. I become a tea person. But yeah, this is really good. And I put a brown sugar creamer in it. Brown sugar oatmeal creamer in it. So that's what my coffee is. So you can see. Here, wait. I'm going to show you the close-up of the coffee. There's not much left at this point. But you can see it's like a dessert color. I know some people like black coffee. And here, wait. Look at Toad. He's just looking at you. Or maybe it's just a mushroom. I don't know. You know what? I'll let you know when I finish the coffee what the bottom actually is, if it's Toad or if it's something else. You know, I'll keep y'all posted. Tired from staying up late gaming. Dude, I know. I could have stayed up playing Clair Obscur all night last night. That's exactly how you drink yours. Astro Banshee, we are twinsies in so many ways, my friends. You like a little coffee with your cream and sugar? Coffee, the morning drink of champions. Rob says, as a coffee nerd, you should check out the X Bloom Studio pour over robot. Whoa. There's a robot that will make your coffee? I mean, it's not like at a convention. I always see those robots at like CES and stuff. But having a robot that... Here, I'm going to take my camera out of the way. Whoops, get out of there. We'll bring it back when it's time to look at the coffee again. We'll bring it back. Maybe it's just a mushroom at the bottom. It'll give me a super boost. Catnip says, I bet it's a mushroom. When you finish a coffee, you get a 1-up. Oh, I like that. I like that. Lucas, I'm very much looking forward to Crimson Desert, actually. You said Rob said the coffee robot is amazing and does great tea, too. Nice. Classy likes tea with a cup of tea with a cliche of another cup of tea. Get it. Get it. You're such a coffee snob, you're not sure a robot would be it for you. I would just like to see the robot prepare it. Now, of course, whether or not the robot prepares a good coffee is a whole separate question, right? Hi, number 9. How are you today? Rob says great tea as well. So, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, thank you everybody that was on the stream yesterday. I know we went extra long on the stream yesterday because I was playing Clair Obscur for Clair Obscur Expedition 33 Day. And y'all, I love that game so much. I forgot how much I love that game. It was I was like, oh, I'm going to stream an extra 2 hours today. And no joke, it went by like that. Just grind in the same parry and block timing, trying to get through some of those DLC bosses. I like that game way too much. And I found that, get this. So on Amazon, you can get the soundtrack, of course. If you want the soundtrack on vinyl, guess how much it costs? I'll take guesses from chat. So the Clair Obscur Expedition 33 soundtrack on vinyl on Amazon. Take a stab in the dark. Catnip, I didn't notice when we raided, we had 333 people for the raid. That's perfect. $333? No, but that's a good guess. Game Largo says maybe $100,000. No, not $100,000. I'm going to see if it changed since I looked at it this morning. The music is amazing in that game. Here, you know what? If you want to hear some of the music of that game, hold on. Show and tell. Show and tell. My little music box. I love it.
You have returned.
I love it so much. So anyway, I just found this morning, I'm going to put it down. I just found this morning that the vinyl for the soundtrack for this game is on Amazon for $548. That's so much. For my vinyl video game soundtrack collectors out there. $548. Isn't that wild? Lucas says the vinyl's $450 on eBay. So yeah, a little slightly cheaper on Amazon than on eBay. Chicago, I like that music box too. Are they gonna re-release the vinyl? I don't know. The Clair Obscur merch is so hard to get. Even if you buy the game now, there's one, I think it's called the Mirror Edition, that's exclusive to Amazon where you can get a steelbook. But it's not even this steelbook. It's still Verso, and it's a different. I'll just say, no spoilers. It's a different image than the steelbook that I have. The steelbook that I have is from the collector's edition, which was never sold in the United States, and that also came with the music box. So it was never sold in the U.S., but it was sent to me because I was so sad that I missed the premiere. I really wanted to go to the premiere for that game, and that was before I even knew how much I loved the game. But anyway, thank you for letting me play that game yesterday for an additional 2 hours. I had so much fun. And we actually got a lot of people. Ooh, Pipe Train. Lucas, you thought you were the only one who collected game soundtracks on vinyl? No way. Lots of people do. It's very in right now. Thank you for the Hype Train, everybody. But yeah, Clair Obscur merch is surprisingly very hard to get. So the Mirror Edition that's an Amazon exclusive does come with a steelbook. And I believe it comes with some posters. But other than that, the only Clair Obscur merch that I found is Displate. Actually, I should have linked it on Amazon. Displate sells some really cool, if you've never seen the Displates before, they're like metal hanging prints that you can hang. I have one on my wish list right now. Husbando, pay attention. For Clair Obscur. So they sell those on Amazon. And then the IGN has the rights to the only store for the other stuff, which is where the Esquier plushie. So the reason I was playing extra long yesterday is because it was Clair Obscur Day. But also, I was told I could get a gift voucher for the Esquier plushie, being a member of the Kepler Creator Collective, which I am. Yay. Shout out. Love their games. Big fan. So that's why I joined that. But they were like, if you stream the game for 2 hours on Clair Obscur Day, we'll give you a voucher to get the Esquier plushie. Now, Frequency punch. No, the $500 vinyl husbando does not need to get me. No, that's too rich for our blood. But if that's all I collected, yes. But speaking of too rich for my blood, guess how much that Esquier plushie retails for? Normally, if I did not have the voucher. You can't wait to see what the Esquier plushie looks like when I get it? Dude, I'm so excited. Faith Makes a Way, Cleric, and Be Right UK over on Twitch. Thank you for the resubs. Lucas, or Catnip is guessing 1,000. It's not 1,000. Astro Banshee guessed 100. It's not 100. Lucas says plushie, 300. Lucas, you win for today. It's actually 333.33, which someone else guessed that in Twitch chat earlier as the price of the vinyl. But no, that is the price of the Esquier plushie. I'm guessing they're only making like 333 of them. Either that or it has like really, really complex soft goods on it or something like that. So anyway, it is going to be a limited edition collector's piece. And I am so stoked. I'm going to be like checking the mail every day until it gets here. But I think it's only pre-orders right now. And I think it will officially ship March 10th, if I remember correctly. But anyway, this lady who's obsessed with Claire Obscure and a big video game collectibles person, very excited. So thank you. Very, very excited. Magoo, have a great rest of your day, my friend. But yes, I know. Soof Bay Dad guessed 250 in the right ballpark. But yeah, wild, right? Totally wild. So anyway, I'm really excited to see what it looks like when it comes. Very, very stoked. Very stoked. Happy to report in my not able, like no time to read things, but time to listen to books. I got through the second Dungeon Crawler Carl book and am now on the third book, which is the Anarchist Cookbook. I'm now listening to the third Dungeon Crawler Carl book and I am loving these books. Yeah, Dime Detective says reading any new books? Yes. So listening to new books, if you will. But yeah, got through the second book. Now I'm in the third and I'm pretty far into the third already. When I went to host the Newegg event, that's kind of far from my house. And tomorrow I will be hosting for Kingston. And so these are like long commutes to set for me. And that's when I get a lot of my Audible stuff done. So I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited about that. Also, stinker, I meant to link it on Amazon and I didn't. But Audible has a new membership option that's a little bit more affordable for anyone who doesn't have an Audible membership but is thinking about getting one. There's a free trial and all sorts of stuff. But I meant to put a button in the stream and it didn't happen because I didn't have enough coffee yet. Yes, you're rereading World War Z? Ooh, do I think I'll be tired? Tomorrow, maybe. You just started book 5 of Dungeon Crawler Carl? Nice, Forlorn Knight. How many books are there total? Astro, you're rereading Ready Player One with another reading group. I like that book a lot. Good choice. Good choice. Lucas says, my friend Ben Wolf writes some of the Dungeon Crawler Carl books. He works with Matt Dinneman. Yo, Lucas, that's awesome. That is awesome. You also just reread Ready Player One, Double Think Press. That's awesome. There are 7 books, and the 8th comes out in May. I better get on it. Cleric says, did you get to play with the S26 Ultra? I'm still rocking an S22 Ultra, and I'm sad to see a non-Bluetooth pen. You and me both, my friend. I'm very sad not to see the Bluetooth pen. But yeah, I have been, for most things, so it's interesting, because since it's a review device, it comes with like a 1-month SIM or a 2-month SIM card in it already. So because of that, I'm not transferring my SIM from here into here yet, which means that I'm still using the Pixel for some things, but I'm trying to use the S26 Ultra for everything else. But the fact that I'm going back and forth between them is really making me compare and contrast between the two, which I want to make a video just on this, not a video specifically comparing and contrasting between the two. I feel like that's a separate video, right? But maybe not. So there'll be a lot of comparisons to the Pixel peppered in there. But yeah, I've been playing with this a lot. If you're upgrading from the S22, it would be a big upgrade. It would be a big upgrade. But yeah, it's a bummer that the S Pen is no longer Bluetooth. What I guess the feedback that they got, or at least this is what they told me, is that most people that are Ultra users are also people that have accessories. Like they're like the hardcore tech enthusiasts that have all the stuff. And people can remote shutter using their watch or their ring very easily. So that was part of the thing that factored into not using remote shutter with the pen because it's not Bluetooth. But I'm like, I don't. Well, first of all, the watch for me wouldn't work because then what? In every picture, I'm touching my watch, or it's like watch 1, 2, 3, go. Watch 1, 2, 3, go. It's not the same as hitting a button to be the shutter. Like I was explaining to the folks at the Samsung event, I was like, look, I do not like having to take selfies out in public. And I say having to because a lot of times I will go to events and I've been invited to the event to cover it on social media, right? So, but still, no one around you knows that. So when I get there and I put up my tripod and I'm like, you know, hey, look at this thing, taking pictures. I think most people just think I'm like very full of myself, taking a lot of pictures of myself. And for me, I'm like, no, I'm working. But like, I'm not going to explain that to everybody. So I like to put the phone in the tripod, get it up there, and do like click, 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 done. Put the tripod away, throw it in my purse. It's like I was never there, okay? That's how I like to get it done. So having to be like, hand, 1, 2, 3, hand, 1, 2, 3. Like that takes too long. I'm not there for that life. So maybe Scott says, I love the Triforce necklace. Thank you. It's less than $10 right now if you know anyone that wants one. Wear a shirt that says I'm working and cover it for the photos. I could do that. And Cleric says, but the S Pen is super convenient, especially for the pics with the kids and fam. I can take like 100 and get at least one good pic. That's my thing, is like the burst shot of it all. Right? Put a sign on the tripod that says this is for work. I love it. I love it. But yeah, I really like the functionality of the S Pen and the Bluetooth capability I always used for remote shutter. So I'm sad that it doesn't have that. But there are other things I'm noticing. Like one of the new things that I noticed is the front-facing selfie has a nice wide angle, but when you flip to video using the front-facing, no wide angle. That's very tricky for me. I don't have the longest arms. So like if I'm filming at an event, I want that to be as wide as possible. So I guess to film at the event and have it wide, I'd have to use the rear cameras. But then I can't line up my shot. I can't see what's in frame. So I could buy an attachment, right, that goes on the back that shows me what's in frame. But again, these are all me having to buy extra things. That isn't an issue with that. So there are things that I'm noticing as I'm going through and using it for different things. But that being said, the image stabilization on video on this is way better. So I still need to do a low light test between the two, and the coloring on the two is very different as well. Like I'm probably going to do an Instagram post in the next couple days that's a series of photos, or I'll do like option A, option B, and let people guess which is the Samsung and which is the Pixel. But I think it's very obvious based on the coloring of the photos. I'm channeling a 90s high school girl with today and yesterday's outfit. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just being... yesterday and today are both very comfy outfits. Very comfy outfits. And so I'm still testing with the phone. Long story short. And I'm also still testing with the buds. I'm not someone that uses buds very often. I was explaining this to other creators at the Samsung event that like I really only use buds when I'm traveling for work, or when I'm like at my son's karate practice and I want to listen to an audiobook or play a game or something like that. But these look beautiful. And I know they have a lot of features built in. Someone asked me how the AI translating is, and I'm like, who do I know that speaks another language fluently? that can speak another language to me to test these out, apart from having to take an international trip. I'm actually a little jealous of my other tech creator friends that are currently in Barcelona for MWC because they can test these out in real time. Any insider info on maybe a Galaxy Z Fold 8 wide? No insider knowledge, sadly. When I do get press briefings, I get them like the day before or 2 days before max. Like the press briefing I got for these was within 24 hours of everybody else finding out. Like I think everyone else found out at 10 a.m. on Wednesday and I found out at like 1 p.m. on Tuesday. Put on a TV show in another language is a great idea. Thank you, Matt. And my sister actually speaks fluent Spanish, so I could ask her. Put up orange cones and yellow tape saying creator at work. Oh, that would not go over well. People generally have I feel like people don't have the best impressions of what creators do for a living. It's sad. Any creative industry, I feel like, gets a negative, like, hard physical labor is a real job, and anything you do creative, not a real job. And I'm like, I wish we could stop devaluing creative careers, but, you know, that's a fight for another day, if you will. Start watching a Korean soap opera. Actually, wait. They play the best Korean dramas at my nail salon. That's it. I'm going to take them to my nail salon. Thank you. That's a great idea as well. Caitlin, thank you so much for following on Amazon. Carlos says, I use buds at night for white noise. I have 2 pair, and neither are particularly comfortable in my ears. Do I have any suggestions for comfortable buds that almost don't feel like you're wearing them? There are, I can't think of the brand name right now, but there are a couple companies that make buds specifically to sleep in. And I'm forgetting the model number right now. Someone had just emailed me about reviewing a pair recently. But they're specifically made to be very comfortable in your ears so you can fall asleep in them for purposes like white noise or meditation that you might listen to fall asleep, that kind of thing. When I heard, let me see. It's kind of dangerous me just going through my email because I'm like, what if it's embargoed? Sleep buds. I'm just going to look and see. What is that embargo? Okay, I don't know. They didn't tell me what the embargo is, so I can't share it. But all I will say is if you Google search sleep buds, you will find buds specifically made for that. And I know a couple of them are sold on Amazon. If you just in Amazon search sleep buds, you will find them. Oh, and there's some too that are like soft headbands with speakers built in that I know people have used for sleep as well. We all know Trisha has access to the latest unreleased tech in her secret home lab. Sometimes. Not all the time. Mr. Yasman says, seeing me without glasses feels weird. I have my glasses here. I could put them on. I just didn't get to it yet. I was like this is what happens on coffee streams. You catch me like mid getting ready and starting my day. So often my hair's still damp and I, don't have a full face of makeup on or anything like that. I'm just getting ready for the day. That's where it is normally for coffee chats. And that's where we are today. I will not have a stream. This is why I'm live on both Twitch and Amazon this morning. I will not be able to stream to Twitch later this afternoon like I typically do for Wacky Wednesday. And that's because the new voiceover class that I'm taking is every other Wednesday afternoon. So clearly that's going to mess with my streaming schedule. But I'll do my best to move it around so that I still get to see everybody on the regular because this is my favorite part of the day. Where's Trisha Kent and why is Superwoman on stream? But it's true. It's true. You can't wait for the new Mario Galaxy movie? Dude, I'm so excited about it. Do I have a certain date I'm planning on releasing the view of the Samsung products? Not quite yet. And it's because the reason that I don't have a certain date that I'm putting out the review is because I really want to spend time with it to have like a fully fleshed out opinion on things other than just stating the specs. And then once I have the fully fleshed out opinion, I'm going to write my thoughts down. I'm going to film them on camera. Then it has to go through editing. So what I will say is my goal is to get it done before the phone actually releases on March 11th. So hopefully before March 11th is the answer. But yeah, I really, really want to give it the time to have lots of thoughts on it. If I do end up testing the sleep buds, I'm doing my stretch. Thank you. Pain, note the frequency they're supposed to be cut out. Quiet on made what looked like good earbuds for sleep, but they didn't actually cut out the frequencies claimed. Interesting. I wonder if my ear would be fine-tuned enough to hear that. Like some people I know have the best, like most sensitive hearing, and they can hear like, oh, those are the mid-tones versus the bass tones. You know, like they can pick that right out. I generally don't. So I have my friends who are better at that. Like one of my friends, Juan Carlos Bagnell, he goes by some gadget guy online. He's my phone a friend when it comes to audio. He actually helped me set up my voiceover mic. Speaking of voiceover class, he helped me set up my voiceover mic, which this is what I use for voiceover classes, for voiceover audition recording. I use this mic right here. I like it a lot. And I used to plug this right into the computer, but then when I recorded my voiceover demos, which I don't like very much, I need to redo them with a different coach. I just don't care for them. But anyway, the first person that I recorded my voiceover demos with said that this mic will sound better if I use XLR and not USB. So instead of plugging it right into my computer via USB, now I plug it into the Evo 4, it's called, via XLR. And then that goes into my PC. Again, I don't have the like refined hearing really to hear the difference between the two. But apparently people who listen to voiceover auditions all the time and stuff like that can really hear the difference between this mic plugged in via USB and this mic plugged in via XLR. I can't hear the difference, but I trust the professionals, I guess. Please let us know if you find a good alternative to remote camera shutter. I passed on the S25 Ultra because of it, and now I'm thinking about passing on the S26 Ultra too. So the best alt that I have so far, and I would grab it, but I don't think it's here, is buying a tripod that has a little remote shutter with it. So that's what I do, because the Pixel doesn't have remote shutter, right? So what I do with the Pixel is that little tripod that I carry around everywhere has a little Bluetooth remote that just like sticks right on it. And so when you put out your tripod, you grab that remote, and as long as it's been paired with the phone before, it auto pairs when you press the button, and then I use that for the remote shutter and stick it right back on the tripod. Now, clearly, if you don't bring a tripod with you everywhere, like clearly it's less convenient than it just being the S Pen, but that's the workaround I used when I used Pixel as my main. So it was like I had the S23 Ultra and was using the S Pen for the remote shutter. And then after the S23 Ultra, I went back to using the Pixel as my main device, the Google Pixel. And that's how I get around remote shutter. Otherwise, on the Samsung, if it's just one or two quick pictures, I do the palm thing. It's a setting you can turn on where you hold up your palm, and you'll see on the front-facing cam, it like outlines your palm and then starts a 3-second countdown and takes a picture for you. So you have time to, here, wait, let me get this out. But you have time to, it's not as fast, but here's how it looks in person. Because again, I'm concerned about what other people are like judging me. But basically, you're standing there, you line up the shot, whatever. You put your hand up until it circles it. And then you have a 3-second countdown to be like, and pose for your picture. And it will take one picture. Now, there might be a way you can set it up to do palm to burst shots. So it takes a few pictures, like for families and stuff where kids aren't going to be looking at the camera and you want to take a million pictures. That's probably a thing you could set up, but that's my workaround for right now. And yes, you can also use voice shutter and say cheese or smile or shoot. You can set it up to a couple different things and it'll take the picture. But again, I'm not going to be in public being like, cheese, cheese, cheese to take my photos. That would feel very silly. It's wild seeing the phone bigger than my hand, but I always like a big phone. So both of them are for me because I get the XL or the Ultra, which the Ultra is bigger than the XL if we're going to be fair. And these both have cases on them, but you get the idea. You know? Hi, Disco George. How are you today? They need to make a Dora the Explorer voice activation? That would be very silly. That would be very silly. Disco George, thank you for following the channel. Oh, I finished my coffee and I have the answer for you. Hold up. I'm going to get the camera again. Okay, are you ready for what's inside the cup? Now that I'm not going to spill it. So I would say that's toad. The mushroom doesn't have eyes. Right? Or could it be a one-up mushroom just with eyeballs? Chat, it's your decision. You get to make the call. That's a one-up mushroom. You have the S21 Ultra, still runs great, and will still outdo a lot of other phones, but it's time for an upgrade. I get that. What a great cup. See, Double Thing Press says that's toad. Forlorn Knight says not toad. The mushroom does have eyes, says Catnip. You remember having a phone that would take a picture if you smiled? Yeah. It's a one-up shroom. Okay, I vote toad, says Silent Thunder. You know? Could be a lot of different things. Don't know. That's the growth mushroom, says Catnip Ninja. I'm guessing it's because after you drink coffee, you de-shrimp. Oh, yeah, maybe. All right. One more before we go, because I see Fitness Dude redeemed push-ups. So now that I've had my coffee, I'm going to do 10 push-ups because it still says 10, but I think pretty soon I'm going to change it to 5, y'all. Because the amount of push-ups on stream are killing me, especially on the days that I stream for a really long time. So I'm going to do 10 today because I don't want to be false advertising. Johnny says I can't even do one. I can't even do one real one either. I'm doing knee push-ups and I don't even go down all the way. Look, fitness is where you're at, all right? Get ready to gym. Rob, you think 5 push-ups is a... All right, everybody, have your coffee. Have I tried mushroom coffee? No, is it good? Disco George? Mushroom coffee, isn't that like the not coffee that people who don't want caffeine can have? I could be wrong. My husband grew up Mormon, but I think they have a mushroom coffee. Right? Right? Okay, here we go. Push-ups. Doing them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, everyone who was really worried about my form before, you'll have to let me know when my form finally looks like it's getting better. Ah, yes. Okay, and Paul redeemed a hug, my friend. Okay, so this is a hug from me to all of you. For anyone who needs a hug today, I hope your day is joyous and wonderful. For me, I have a lot of meetings coming up today. I have a voiceover class coming up today, and I'm going to get a little hair trim today. And then tomorrow I'm on set for Kingston Technology. So, kind of looked like the chair was judging me. That's funny. I like it. Yes, Disco George says you're cheating. I can totally be cheating. I am not. I am in the very beginning of my fitness journey, okay? I'm going to modify how I can. But bring back the RGB hair. That was so hard to maintain, though. Anyway, I need to go because I have to run into a meeting. I wish I didn't have to. But thank you all for joining me on a Wacky Wednesday, a very early coffee stream and chats. And we talked about a lot of different things today, from Dungeon Crawler Carl to Triforce necklaces to phones to Expedition 33 collectibles. So thank you. Do what works for you. There's no need to stress the quality of the push-up. You do better with strength. Thank you. I will hopefully build my strength over time, and then I will be able to do push-ups more correctly, I guess. I try my best. I just want to be healthy so I can be the best mama possible for my kiddo. That's the goal. That's the goal. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. It's hump day. It's the middle of the week. We're halfway there. Like I said, tomorrow I am on set all day, so there will be no streams tomorrow. But I will see you all Friday morning for Nintendo Weekly. There is a lot to talk about on Nintendo Weekly, so it's probably going to be a big one. All right. I will see you then. Goodbye, my friends.